إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. Brothers and sisters, in this day and age there is a dua that the Prophet ﷺ taught the Sahaba, and I don't think there will be, or there was a time where this dua would have been as needed as it is needed today. And when the Sahaba heard these words from the Prophet ﷺ, they asked him, do we learn these words? He said, حق على من سمعهم أن يتعلمهن. That it is a must for a person who hears these words to learn them. When we go to a doctor and the doctor prescribes a medication, we are certain, for the most part, that after taking this medication, we will feel better. For the most part, we are convinced that it will have the right effect. But when the Prophet ﷺ mentioned something that was revealed to him by our Creator, who knows us better than the doctor, then we don't take it as seriously, or we are not really convinced. We are not 100% sure, is this going to work or not? Right? This is our feeling. We are not sure. And maybe we're going to test it. We're going to recite these words and see if it's going to work or not. He said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, as narrated by Al-Imam Ahmad and Ibn Hibbaan, عن عبد الله ibn Mas'ood رضي الله عنه, ما من أحد ما من عبد ما أصاب عبدا حزن ولا هم فقال, that there is no one, there is no servant afflicted with distress and sadness, and he would say, Allahumma inni abduk, that, O Allah, I am your slave. O Allah, I am your slave. This is the beginning of the dua. And notice, in the dua in general, we don't start the dua by asking something. We have to give an introduction. Right? We have to give an introduction. In this introduction, I am acknowledging that I am a slave. I am a servant. A servant to who? A servant to the Creator. Will I be proud to be a servant or a slave to a human being? I don't think anybody will be proud of that. But we are proud to be a servant, to be servants, to be slaves of our Creator. And not only that, Ibn Abdik, I am the son of your slave as well. Not only that I am your slave, I am your servant, but my father was a servant as well. Ibn Amatik, and the son of your female servant. My parents were servants. It's not an accident that I'm the only one in the family who is a servant or who is a slave, but we are a generation of servants of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. This is acknowledging that you are our Creator. This is a good introduction. I'm sure you agree. This is a good introduction before I ask what I'm about to ask. Allahumma inni abduk, ibnu abdik, ibnu amatik, nasiyati biyadik. That my forelock is in your hand. You see how an animal is guided from the front of the head or from the mouth? This is to acknowledge that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala is the one who guides me. I cannot find the path. I cannot find guidance without Him helping me. And that's why in Surah Al-Fatiha that we recite every day, several times a day, we say, Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. Because He's the one who is able to guide us. I cannot guide myself because I think I'm smart. I cannot guide myself because I think I'm rich. I cannot buy guidance. ناصيتي بيدك ماض في حكمك. Your command is and will be executed on me forever. Whatever Allah commands for me will for sure or for certain will happen. There is nothing in my control. Whether I know the wisdom behind it or not, it will happen. I should not have a problem with that. ناصيتي بيدك ماض في حكمك عدل في قضاؤك. That the decree upon me, your decree upon me, is just. It's not like we are dealing with human beings where there is injustice. We are dealing with the Creator. We are dealing with our Lord. We are dealing with Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, who does not do injustice. Whatever happens to us, we may not know why we had an accident this morning. We may not know why we lost our job. We may not know the hardship that we are going through. What is the wisdom behind it? How does this benefit me? Except by knowing and by acknowledging that Allah knows better than me what is good for me. ماض في حكمك عدل في قضاؤك أسألك بكل اسم هو لك. I ask you by any name that belongs to you. I ask you by any name that belongs to you. And here you start asking. You are asking something. But before you get to what you're really asking, you are asking Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala by His names. Right? You are adding value to this dua to make it even stronger. By any name that belongs to you. أسألك بكل اسم هو لك. Any name. I may not know all the names of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, but I want to make sure I'm using a name that actually belongs to Him. I cannot use a name that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala did not assign to Himself. I know in some cultures they may use names that don't belong to Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. So I'm asking Him by any name that belongs to Him. سميت به نفسك, that you have given to yourself. A name that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala has chosen for Himself. أو أنزلته في كتابك, or you have revealed in one of your books, whether it is the Quran or any other book, or any other book that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala has revealed to His prophets. I may not know all the names, but any name that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala has revealed, I am asking you by one of those names, by any of these names or of those names. أو علمته أحدا من خلقك, or you have taught one of your servants or one of your creation. Any name that you have taught anyone, a prophet or otherwise, that we may or may not know what the name is. And the Sahaba and the Tabi'een and the scholars of Islam, they differed and they debated about what is the greatest name of Allah, Ismullah al-A'zam. They debated and they gave many opinions, trying to find this name by which, if you ask, you are granted your wish. Ismullah al-A'zam. That's why this dua is basically, you are covering your bases to make sure you are encompassing all the names and you are using all these names to ask for what you want. أو استأثرت به في علم الغيب عندك. Or you have preserved in the knowledge of the unseen with you. And this is one of the crucial statements here. As the scholars of Islam, the majority, they agree that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala has more than 99 names. I hope this is not a surprise to anyone, but the majority of the scholars of Islam, they agree that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala has more than 99 names. You can imagine that in the Arabic language, even some animals that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala have created have more than 100 names. How can their creator have less? And in the hadith that mentions the 99 names, it says, لِلَّهِ تِسْعٌ وَتِسْعُونَ اسْمًا. It is similar, the statement is similar to somebody saying, I have $100. I want to spend it on something for Eid. Right? I want to buy something for Eid. If I say, I have $100, I want to spend it and buy something for Eid. Does that mean that I only have $100? It only means that I have assigned $100 for that particular purpose. أو استأثرت به في علم الغيب عندك أن تجعل القرآن ربيع قلبي. أن تجعل القرآن ربيع قلبي. To have, and this is where you actually start asking Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala for what you really need, is to make the Quran the life of your heart. اللهم اجعل القرآن العظيم ربيع قلوبنا وجلاء أحزاننا وذهاب همومنا وغمومنا. اللهم علمنا منه ما جهلنا وذكرنا منه ما نسينا. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله وكفى والصلاة والسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد. This is the dua, brothers and sisters, that we so often hear during Ramadan. Even though it has nothing to do with Ramadan, but this is the only occasion that we really hear this dua. And I'm sure some of you would agree. And it is my favorite dua to hear or to say during Ramadan, because of the meanings that's in it. So the first sentence that he used in this dua is اجعل القرآن ربيع قلبي. That make the Quran the life of my heart. But we have to remember that to be able to have the Quran as a life for our hearts, we have to have some kind of relationship with the Quran. No miracles will happen if we don't recite the Quran, right? If we don't open this Quran and look at it, recite it, understand its meaning, apply it in our lives, then how can this Quran be the life of our heart, right? You don't want to be asking for something impossible, that you are not doing any efforts towards it. You want to be able to ask for something while making at least a little bit of effort. A little bit of effort. اجعل القرآن ربيع قلبي ونور صدري, and the light of my chest. Make this Quran the light of my chest. Whenever we mention the light, we think about guidance, right? We think about guidance. And we see around us so many people going astray. So we want to have a light so that we can see the straight path and we can continue upon the straight path. وَجَلَاءَ حُزْنِي, and to make my distress go away. وَذَهَابَ هَمِّي, and to make my sadness depart. This is the meaning of the dua. And we realize that once we know the meaning of a dua, once we know the meaning, it will make sense. And we feel like when we are saying it, we know what we are saying, and as a result, we are more certain that it's going to be answered. In this day and age where we have anxiety, we are sad, we have problems, Muslims are being tested all over the world. And a person should not understand from this that I will not have problems after saying this dua. I will not be tested. That's not the case. I mean, if you think so, you have misunderstood the meaning of life. It's like a person going to university or going to school not expecting to have exams. You have to have exams to make sure you actually learn something. Similarly, in life, we are here to be tested. You will have one test after another. It's not going to end. It's not going to stop. But a dua like this will make it easier on the person. Right? It will make sure by saying this dua that I'm going through these tests that are coming towards me every day while having a light. Right? Why? While staying on the straight path. Because with all these tests and calamities and problems that are coming towards you, there is a chance that you're going to sway away from this straight path. It's going to knock you off the straight path. That's why we ask Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala constantly. As I mentioned earlier, in Surah Al-Fatiha, before we get to the end of the surah, we give a long introduction, right? As I mentioned, in the dua, you have to give an introduction before you ask what you want. We say so many things. We praise Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, and so on, until we get towards the end of the surah, and we say the most important and the most crucial thing ever that a person could say, Ihdina as-Sirat al-Mustaqim. This is towards the end of the surah. You all agree. Because it's so crucial. That's why we have to remember every day. If right now, at some point, a person might feel like my life is going all smooth. Everything is going right for me. If I hear this, usually I tell people, you have to be worried right now. If everything is going smooth, you don't have any problems, you have a job, you have money, you have a family, you are safe, you don't have any problems or tests going on, you really have to be worried. I would be worried because you don't know what's coming towards your way. At least if you have a problem, you know what it is. But if you have a problem coming your way and you don't know what it is, you have to be scared, you have to be worried. And if you are dealing with issues, if you are going through difficulties, rest assured that what comes after that will be ease. And even during difficulties, when we say du'as like this, when we go back and strengthen our relationship with the Quran, it will make it easy for us. In the evening today, inshallah, tonight, after Salatul Isha, I will be talking about one aspect of our relationship of the Quran. For those of you who have time, join me. We'll talk about how to review the Quran. A lot of people, when they memorize a sentence or a small surah or a big surah, they always complain that I forget. So I'll give you a method. Whether you memorize one surah or you memorize the whole Quran, inshallah you will benefit from this method, and it will give a new meaning to memorizing the Quran or reviewing the Quran, and it will give a new perspective on how you pray your salah. It will help you concentrate better in your salah, and as a result you will have a stronger relationship with the Quran. And in this dua, I will conclude with this that I mentioned today. If you are able to learn it, memorize it, use it on a daily basis, you can find it on the internet. I can post it on my Facebook. And I will say the dua again today, and I will tell you the variations just briefly. When you read this dua, it is said in the masculine form. So if a sister is saying this dua, instead of saying Allahumma inni abduk, she would say Allahumma inni amatuk. Allahumma inni amatuk. Ibnatu amatik, ibnatu abdik, ibnatu amatik. A small variation. And then the plural form, I will say the plural form at the end, inshallah, where we say, and we'll conclude inshallah with this dua before the salah. Allahumma inna abiduk, banu abidik, banu ima'ik, نواصينا بيدك ماض فينا حكمك عدل فينا قضاؤك نسألك بكل اسم هو لك سميت به نفسك أو أنزلته في كتابك أو علمته أحدا من خلقك أو استأثرت به في علم الغيب عندك أن تجعل القرآن ربيع قلوبنا وجلاء أحزاننا وذهاب همومنا. اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين ودمر أعداءك أعداء الدين. اللهم من أراد بالإسلام والمسلمين خيرا فوفقه اللهم لكل خير، ومن أراد بهم غير ذلك فخذه أخذ عزيز مقتدر يا رب العالمين. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه، وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. اللهم آت نفوسنا تقواها وزكها أنت خير من زكاها أنت وليها ومولاها. اللهم اهدنا لأحسن الأخلاق لا يهدي لأحسنها إلا أنت، واصرف عنا سيئها لا يصرف عنا سيئها إلا أنت. اللهم اشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين، وارحم موتانا وموتى المسلمين، وصل اللهم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين، وأقم الصلاة. الذين يأكلون الربا لا يقومون إلا كما يقوم الذي يتخبطه الشيطان من المس، ذلك بأنهم قالوا إنما البيع مثل الربا وأحل الله البيع وحرم الربا، فمن جاءه موعظة من ربه فانتهى فله ما سلف وأمره إلى الله، ومن عاد فأولئك أصحاب النار هم فيها خالدون. يمحق الله الربا ويربي الصدقات والله لا يحب كل كفار أثيم. إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وأقاموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة لهم أجرهم عند ربهم ولا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وذروا ما بقي من الربا إن كنتم مؤمنين، فإن لم تفعلوا فأذنوا بحرب من الله ورسوله، وإن تبتم فلكم رؤوس أموالكم لا تظلمون ولا تظلمون، وإن كان ذو عسرة فنظرة إلى ميسرة، وأن تصدقوا خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون. واتقوا يوما ترجعون فيه إلى الله ثم توفى كل نفس ما كسبت ثم توفى كل نفس بما كسبت وهم لا يظلمون.